On January 26, 2020, the world stood still as news broke of Kobe Bryant's tragic passing. His laughter, his fierce gaze on the court, and those unforgettable slam dunks linger in our memories. But the echoes of his legacy and the pain of that loss are just one chapter in a book filled with the NBA's most heart-wrenching moments. These are the 6 most heartbreaking moments in NBA history, from the tearful eyes of a champion like Michael Jordan to the silent strength of Isaiah Thomas playing through personal loss. These moments have defined not just the players, but the very essence of the sport. Let's navigate through these emotional roller coasters, exploring the depths of human spirit displayed on the NBA's grand stage. Kevin Durant. In 2014, Kevin Durant was unstoppable on the basketball court. His scoring was a spectacle that left fans and opponents alike in awe. He dazzled the crowds with performances like his 54-point game against the Golden State Warriors and a staggering 51 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists against the Toronto Raptors. His exceptional play throughout the season earned him the prestigious NBA MVP award. But when it came time to speak about these accomplishments, Kevin shifted the spotlight away from himself. Standing on the stage, he didn't speak of his scoring titles or the wins he led his team to. Instead, he spoke of his mother, Wanda. He shared stories of his mom waking him up in the night, making him run and practice even when his little legs were tired. He talked about how she always made sure he and his brother had food, even if it meant she went to bed with an empty stomach. His mom was his rock, his safe place, and his biggest fan all in one. "You the real MVP," he said to his mom, and everyone felt that. His words were simple, but they hit the heart. It wasn't just a win for him, it was a win for his mom too, who stood by him, believed in him, and sacrificed for him. Now, everyone is not as lucky as Kevin to be able to share those moments of joy with their loved ones. Things are about to become really intense, because now we're talking about Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, a star player for the Boston Celtics, faced a tough day that no one should ever have to. Just one day before a big playoff game against the Chicago Bulls, he got the kind of news that stops you in your tracks. His sister, China, only 22 years old, had died in a car crash. The whole world seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what Isaiah would do next. Would he play in the game or step back to mourn in private? Isaiah chose to play. His shoes told a silent story with words like China and RIP Lil Sis written on them. The crowd, usually so loud and full of energy, went quiet as they shared a moment of silence for his sister. Isaiah led his team onto the court, his eyes looking up just before the game started, maybe finding a moment with his sister. Even with his heart heavy with loss, Isaiah scored an incredible 33 points. This while feeling deep sadness. He helped his team with 6 assists and grabbed 5 rebounds. His play wasn't just about basketball, but a loving nod to his sister, showing his commitment to her memory through the game they both loved. After the game, he only said, "It's my sister. Everything I do is for her, and she's watching over me, so that's all for her." And I'm sure she was proud of him. But that's not the only time when an NBA player played with a heavy heart. John Wall. John Wall, a star player for the Washington Wizards, met a little girl named Maya who was fighting a tough battle with cancer. Their friendship was special and deep. Maya, with her bright spirit, touched John's heart in a way that was beyond words. He even helped her meet her favorite star, Nicki Minaj, by starting a campaign on social media. But one day, sad news came. Maya, the little girl who fought so bravely, passed away. John was heartbroken. He had been quietly honoring her all season, writing her name on his shoes during games, and now he decided to dedicate a game to her memory. In a game against the Boston Celtics, he wrote "MIP Maya" on his shoes and played his heart out. He scored 26 points and made 17 assists, helping his team win the game after 2 overtimes. It wasn't just a win on the scoreboard, but a small victory for Maya's memory too. After the game, John couldn't hold back his tears. He spoke about Maya, about how the game was for her. "This is tough, man. It's a tough day for me." It was a moment where everyone saw not just the basketball star, but a man who deeply cared, who felt loss and pain. and who remembered a little girl who will always hold a special place in his heart. And a few years back, Michael Jordan also broke into tears after a championship win. Why? Let's get into it. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's dad, James, was everything to him. His biggest fan, his rock, and his best friend. But in 1993, a terrible thing happened. James was killed, and Michael's world turned upside down. His dad, who was always there cheering for him, was gone. It was a pain that no championship could fix. 3 years later, a big day came. It was the NBA Finals, Game 6, and Michael was on the court playing his heart out. But this wasn't just any game. It was Father's Day, a day that used to be so happy when his dad was alive. The Chicago Bulls won that day, and the crowd went wild. But for Michael, the win was heavy. His dad wasn't there to celebrate, to hug him, to say, "Well done, son." When the game ended, Michael fell to the floor. He was crying hard because even with the win, his heart was losing. He missed his dad so much. It was a win, yes, but it was also a loss. His tears told a story of love for his dad, of missing him, and of remembering him. Later, in a room filled with cheers and joy from his team, Michael sat alone. He was thinking, maybe talking to his dad in his heart. When he spoke to people later, his voice was soft, filled with feelings. He said, "This one is for Daddy." It was his way of saying that his dad was still with him in that win, in those tears, and in every beat of his heart. No doubt, it was a moment that touched the hearts of many, but what about a moment when a player worked his whole life and wasn't there to see the day of glory? Terrence Clark. Terrence Clark was a shining star in the world of basketball, a young man with big dreams and a talent to match. At just 19, his eyes were set on the NBA, ready to make his mark and inspire others with his skill and passion for the game. But life had other plans. A sudden, tragic car accident in Los Angeles took Terrence away from us, leaving behind a sea of what-ifs and unfulfilled dreams. The NBA draft in Brooklyn became a stage of mixed emotions when the NBA chose to honor Terrence in a way that touched every heart in the room. His family carrying the weight of their loss, but also the pride of Terrence's achievements, were brought to the stage. His mother, Osmin, with tears streaming down her face, was joined by Terrence's brother and sister in a moment that was both heartbreaking and beautiful. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, with a heavy heart, delivered words that reverberated throughout the arena. To the three of you, to all of those who knew and admired Terrence, please know that he will forever be a part of the NBA family. It was a moment that brought everyone together, reminding us of all the dreams Terrence had and the impact he left on the basketball world. Back in Kentucky, where Terrence played with all his heart, his absence is felt deeply. His coach, John Calipari, and his team, the Wildcats, keep his memory alive, remembering a teammate who was destined for greatness. Speaking of sudden death, something even worse happened in 2020 for the NBA community: Kobe Bryant. And I believe that no list would be complete without including the untimely and tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others in a helicopter crash. The death of Kobe Bryant set the tone for the rest of 2020 as the world suffered many other great losses and endured the coronavirus. Upon Kobe's passing, the Staples Center became a gathering place for grieving fans who left hundreds of items in memory of Bryant. Later, Kobe's wife, Vanessa Bryant, had the items boxed up for her and her children to keep. And then there was Michael Jordan, standing before a sea of mourners, his voice breaking yet steady as he shared his memories and pain. His speech and raw and honest tribute spoke not just of a fellow athlete, but of a brother lost. Through his words, the world caught a glimpse of the depth of their friendship and the shared respect between the two giants of the game. The first extremely emotional memory that will probably live on forever is the first Los Angeles Lakers game following his death. It's hard to watch the pregame memorial to Kobe Bryant without emotions showing up as tears fall. As we reflect on these poignant moments, we're reminded that basketball is more than just a game. It's a tapestry of passion, resilience, and shared humanity.